perfect addition to your skincare routine. And guess what?
What?
Members of our studio audience, you're going home with a P46 hyaluronic acid serum.
I thought you were gonna pull my glasses out of your dress. But that's much better. Listen, we want you all to have a great day, everybody. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And you know what? Regardless of what's happening out there, don't let it get you down. You still got stuff to do. You still got family to take.
We love it here. Here is the smell of fresh bread, good food at the table, where all the good happens. Because here is home.
Coming home means comfort, connection, relaxation. That's what Stressless furniture is made for. You see, where you sit matters. From beautiful sofas to elegant dining chairs, and the world's most comfortable recliners. Experience the remarkable comfort of your very own Stressless furniture at Stonington's Furniture and Brewer. Right now, enjoy great savings through June 1st at Stonington's Furniture, 689 Wilson Street, Brewer.
We love it here. A familiar face behind the counter. Where we pick up right where we left off. Where all the good happens. Because here is home.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The investigation into the fire and explosion at Robbins Lumber Mill in Searsmont continues. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The Searsmont Board of Selectmen have approved the creation of a Robbins Lumber Fire Relief Fund to support Searsmont families impacted by the tragedy. And Bangor police are looking for a man that has been missing since February. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Tuesday afternoon. Here's what we're keeping an eye on. A small craft advisory up until Wednesday at around 8 p.m. Watching for some active surf along the coast. And also, interestingly enough, an air quality alert that's also in effect along the coast. Some ozone issues that we are keeping an eye on that will cause some code orange air quality. That means unhealthy for the sensitive groups, so definitely be careful with that. Limit some time outdoors as we deal with the air quality problems today. But meanwhile, moving forward, a warm front has lifted and it's causing record heat across our neck of the woods. You can see the showers and even some rumbles of thunder up in parts of Canada. And we are going to watch for some precipitation moving in for us today as it tracks in eventually from the west and going toward the east. So here's Futurecast. Showers and thunderstorms on the way for us today. It will calm down overnight, but more precipitation will be on the way as we head eventually and near Wednesday. Gusty winds reaching up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour, calming down tonight, but then as we head towards tomorrow, we'll have more gusty winds en route. So here we are, your hourly forecast moving forward for this afternoon. We'll have clouds with precipitation, showers and thunderstorms possible, record heat possible in the upper 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The investigation into the catastrophic fire and explosion at Robbins Lumber in Searsmont continues with multiple agencies on the ground. Investigators from the State Fire Marshal's Office and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives were on the ground in Searsmont, focusing heavily on documenting the scene, preserving evidence, aerial mapping, and witness interviews. They said high winds Monday posed some challenges, and one ATF investigator actually sustained a minor injury related to the difficult conditions at the scene. The Department of Public Safety says they're working closely with Robbins Lumber administration, and Robbins Lumber has been fully cooperative with their investigation. They will be holding a press conference at 3 this afternoon to talk about their progress. We will be covering that live as it happens. The Fire Marshal's Office is also continuing to monitor those injured in the incident. We're learning more about Northport and Belmont firefighter Catherine Page, who sustained severe burns in the explosion. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
Like many first responders, Lieutenant Catherine Page of the Northport Fire Department stepped onto the scene at Robbins Lumber on Friday, ready to help. The volunteer firefighter was among many injured following the explosion.
Catherine's an awesome firefighter. She's the type that does anything that needs to be done.
We're told by her husband, firefighter Paul Page, that she was transported to Maine Medical Center in Portland, where she is on a breathing tube and expected to need several surgeries and skin grafts.
She recognized that we were there, actually kind of gave us a little bit of a wave, even though she couldn't speak. So it was that kind of, lifted me up a little bit.
5 patients from the Searsmont incident are currently being treated at Maine Medical Center. According to the latest update from Maine Health, 2 patients have been treated and discharged, and 1 has been treated and transferred to another facility.
Never had anything like this, certainly on my department, and it's very rare, even in Waldo County, to have injuries that horrific.
Firefighting is a family affair for the Pages, according to Chief Rooney. Catherine, Paul, and their daughter all volunteer for Belmont and Northport, and just last year, Catherine was named Firefighter of the Year.
These are people who have full-time jobs, they have lives with their family, all the ordinary things, except when somebody needs help, they drop what they're doing and they go, no questions asked.
More than $10,000 has already been raised to help support firefighter Page through what is expected to be a long road to recovery.
We always say firefighting is a brotherhood, and it times like this, you really see that.
A link to a GoFundMe can be found on our website. In Northport, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Yesterday, Robbins Lumber posted a message on their website expressing gratitude for the support and kindness they have received since the fire and explosion on Friday. It says, quote, "Our hearts are with the family of the firefighter who lost his life in service to our community and with the firefighters who remain hospitalized as they recover from their injuries. We are profoundly thankful for the courage, professionalism, and sacrifice shown by the first responders who answered the call that day," end quote. For the first time, they share that 2 of their owners, Jim Robbins and Alden Robbins, and family member Lily Robbins, are at Massachusetts General Hospital's Burn Center receiving care. They say they have a long road to recovery ahead, but, quote, "They are in the very best hands and we look forward to their return." The statement goes on to say, quote, "We have also received many requests from those wishing to establish fundraising efforts for our family. While we are deeply touched by this generosity, we respectfully ask that any contributions instead be directed to your local fire department or to the Shriners in honor of the firefighters and families impacted by this tragedy." They say their commitment to their people, their customers, and their future remains unwavering, and they are fully committed to rebuilding and moving forward. The Searsmont Board of Selectmen approved the creation of Robbins Lumber Fire Relief Fund to support Searsmont families impacted by the recent tragedy. Donations can be made in person at the Searsmont Town Office or by mailing them in. Officials are also warning people that many unofficial fundraisers have already begun circulating online. They encourage everyone to be vigilant and to double-check any source of fundraising before donating. Again, you can drop checks off in person or mail them to Town of Searsmont, P.O. Box 56, Searsmont, Maine, 04973. That address is on our website as well. Additionally, the town says if you'd like your donations to support all fire and rescue families affected, you can donate to the Maine Strong Memorial Foundation, which was originally set up to support families of the Lewiston mass shooting. According to the nonprofit's Facebook page, they are collaborating with the Searsmont town officials and are committed to helping those affected by the tragic fire. Hammond Lumber has already announced a $100,000 donation to the Maine Strong Memorial Foundation. The impact of the Robbins Lumber fire is being felt far beyond the mill itself. Several surrounding volunteer fire departments that responded suffer major losses of their own. Our Alex Schley tells us how communities are now coming together to support those who rushed in to help.
Because they're there on our absolute worst days, and now they've had a horrendous day, and we need to be there for them.
In the days since the fatal fire at Robbins Lumber, officials say support has poured in from across Maine and beyond.
The community has been absolutely amazing. We've had fire departments reach out from out of state, across our state, offer to help, offer just donations and whatever we need.
Volunteer departments in Belmont, Searsmont, and Appleton not only saw firefighters injured in the response, but also lost critical equipment.
The fire truck is detrimental to some of these departments. That's their life. They keep these trucks for 30 years. All the equipment on them, that's thousands of dollars of replacement.
For small towns with limited resources, the loss of one of their few fire trucks can be devastating. As they begin to rebuild, officials say community members have stepped up in an unprecedented way.
Since the entire incident, we've had dozens of people come in here, drop off donations.
Among them is former volunteer firefighter and Mossflower Cottage bakery owner, Whitney Brown.
So my immediate thought was, what am I doing right now that I could do to help? Baking. I'm going to offer this. We're going to do the best we can to sell as much as we can, and we're going to give all the money back to the firefighters that need it.
Brown raised $600, part of which came out of her own pocket. Monday, she delivered $100 in freshly baked cookies to 6 of the departments most immediately affected by the fire.
There's a ripple effect, and I think it's really important to just remember, like, this is community, and this is what community does, is we pull together to help each other in whatever way we can.
In Waldo County, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
3 people from southern Maine have been seriously injured following an ATV crash in New Hampshire. Authorities say they struck a closed gate that was blocking a trail. It happened around 9:30 Friday night on the Farmington Recreational Trail in Rochester. Police say a 20-year-old man from Lebanon, Maine, had 2 men as passengers when he hit the gate. None of them were wearing helmets or other safety gear. Wardens say excessive speed and inattention were factors in that crash. 5 people have been arrested in connection with a burglary in Ellsworth. According to the Ellsworth Police Chief Troy Beers, officers were called to Smoky Bear Tobacco and Beverage on High Street for a possible burglary just before 5:30 Monday morning. He says when officers arrived, they discovered unknown suspects had forcibly entered the business. Kennebec County Sheriff Chief Deputy Chris Reed says just after 7, they received a request to back up a Waldo County deputy to stop a vehicle on Route 3. According to Reed, the vehicle was involved in an alleged smash and grab in Hancock County dispensaries and smoke shops. He says the vehicle was exceeding 110 miles per hour as it entered Winslow and police backed off. Reed says it crashed into another car as it entered Waterville and the suspects took off on foot. They were taken into custody. 18-year-old Lorando Sweeting of Auburn and 4 juveniles have been charged with burglary, aggravated criminal mischief, and theft. That investigation is ongoing. Bangor police are searching for a man who has been missing since February. They're trying to find 39-year-old Whitney Bryant to make sure he's okay. Bryant was last seen on February 24th. He's described as a white male who is 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs 190 pounds. He has blue eyes and brown hair. Anyone with information about his whereabouts is urged to contact the Bangor Police Department at 947-7382. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, there are lots of questions about a settlement agreement involving the president. We'll have details when we return.
People ask me all the time, are those commercials really true? Does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. We really have gotten millions of dollars for Mainers hurt by commercial vehicles. And the insurance companies know when you call the twos, we're going to fight for you. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
Think you know Robert Charles? Think again. While President Trump was crushing the woke left, DC insider Bob Charles was cashing in, making millions holding lucrative contracts with the woke DEI Never Trump Obama administration. Bob Charles, looking the other way, abandoning the MAGA movement, working for liberal DEI-loving Democrats, failing President Trump. Anything for a buck chuck can't be trusted. Trump traitor Robert Charles, woke, radical, wrong. Just too liberal for Maine.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
Jado Highlands Golf Course, nestled in the woods of Lincoln, just a short drive from Bangor or Holton. Designed for players of all abilities, Jado features everything a golfer desires. 18 fully irrigated holes, driving range, practice green, and a golf shop with instruction available. Jado maintains quality course conditions while proudly displaying some of the most scenic views in Maine. Challenge yourself to a round of golf surrounded by the beauty of Maine at Jado Highlands Golf Course.
Hanks Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snow blowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hanks Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
It's an unprecedented arrangement. The Justice Department announcing a more than $1.7 billion fund that will be used to pay out Trump's allies, possibly including the January 6 rioters, all using taxpayer money. The fund is part of a settlement agreement President Trump negotiated with his own government following a lawsuit against the IRS. As ABC's Olivia Rubin reports, the acting attorney general is on Capitol Hill today, taking a lot of questions from lawmakers.
Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, on Capitol Hill today, a day after the Department of Justice announced the creation of a $1.776 billion fund to potentially pay out those who claim they were targeted by the DOJ under President Biden.
It is true that this is unusual. That is true. But it is not unprecedented, and it was done to address something that had never happened again either.
Lawmakers questioning Blanche at an unrelated hearing today. Democrats calling it a slush fund.
That is pure theft of public funds. And rewarding individuals who committed crimes is obscene.
President Trump negotiating the unprecedented settlement with his own government, sources say, agreeing to drop 2 other legal claims and a lawsuit he filed earlier this year against the IRS over his leaked tax returns years ago. In exchange, the Department of Justice creating what they call the Anti-Weaponization Fund.
This is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized.
According to the Justice Department, Blanche, who is formerly Trump's personal attorney, would appoint a 5-person commission to hand out the money with no obligation to disclose who they give it to, including potentially those who attacked the Capitol on January 6th. But Blanche defending the arrangement.
There will be full transparency, and I commit to you that beyond the applicable laws that exist around privacy and privileges and whatnot.
And some potential fallout within the administration, too. Sources say a top lawyer at the Treasury Department resigned just hours after this fund was publicly announced. It came after he had expressed some concern internally. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
An Ebola treatment center goes up in eastern Congo. Staff with the Alliance for International Medical Action set up the center after supplies arrived on Sunday. The supplies included personal protective equipment for the healthcare workers. Congo's health minister announced special Ebola treatment centers would be set up there and 2 other areas hit hard by the virus. This week, the head of the World Health Organization said he was worried about the scale and speed of the latest outbreak, which is a rare strain of Ebola. Authorities have reported a sharp increase in suspected deaths to at least 131. So far, there are over 500 suspected cases. There is no approved vaccine or medicines for this type of Ebola. Privacy concerns are being raised in one school district in Arizona. It comes after the Buckeye Union High School District installed surveillance camera with AI capabilities in their schools. The school district confirmed that AI facial recognition technology has been turned off, but some are raising concerns about posters warning students that they are being watched. One of those people is a tipster who sent images of the poster in the halls of Estella Foothills High School to Fox 10. He declined to go on camera, but says he doesn't agree with the messaging.
What bothers me the most here is the fact that who's watching the cameras? Like, it could be like some pedophile for all I care.
The district says the only eyes on the footage is administration and school security. Superintendent Steve Beebe writing, "We do not have that feature turned on because we have not decided as a district if we are going to use it. Should we decide to turn that feature on, we would first need governing board approval, and then we would have to give all families the opportunity to opt in for their students' facial recognition to be used." The district also says it does not pay for storage, so all video is deleted every 30 days. After the break, elevated ozone levels could be a problem today. We've got details when we return.
Spring savings are blooming at Color Concepts. Save 20% on Benjamin Moore paints and Hunter Douglas shades for a limited time. Some exclusions apply. Visit us just off the interstate at 840 Hammond Street in Bangor.
You know what today is? It's Tuesday. Just reminding you that whatever day of the week you get hurt, we're your go-to lawyers. If you've been hurt, call us right now.
Hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Webb's RV Center has a 4-acre lot with over 75 previously owned campers all on sale, plus another 4 acres of new RVs and motorhomes. Webb's RV will take anything in trade. You can buy a camper anywhere, but be sure to buy your next camper at your local neighbor. A website can't service your RV, but Webb's RV will. And they have the biggest service department in the state of Maine to help you enjoy your RV or motorhome.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
Barry Higgins from Maple Lane Farm. We have our own beef herd here, around about 800 head, and it's raised right here on the farm. And we go direct to the consumer. No middleman, all natural, good old-fashioned Maine beef. Our quality is unbeatable. We have specials on Facebook every week. We guarantee our product 100%, whether it be beef, pork, or chicken. And we have a small selection of lamb also.
Maple Lane Farm, a candy store for a carnivore.
You are suing for faulty box braids that she put in your hair.
That started coming out after 3 weeks.
The whole braid came out. Ma'am, how do you explain that?
Hot Bench. Tuesday at 3 on ABC 7. Spring savings are blooming at Color Concepts. Save 20% on Benjamin Moore paints and Hunter Douglas shades for a limited time. Some exclusions apply. Visit us just off the interstate at 840 Hammond Street in Bangor.
Electric fans may not provide relief in hot weather and in some cases might even make you feel worse. ABC's Dave Packer has more.
If you're thinking about breaking out that fan you've tucked away to keep you cool with the weather turning more summer-like, you might want to think again. A new study suggests that using a fan isn't the best way to beat the heat. Researchers at the University of Sydney found that electric fans made people sweat more when it was hot and humid, and that's not helping keeping them cool. The study also found that using a fan while dehydrated made people feel even more thirsty and more uncomfortable in the sweltering heat. So during a heat wave, drink plenty of fluids. If you don't have air conditioning, a fan might help you cool down as long as the air isn't too humid. But when temperatures and humidity soar, a fan might just end up doing more harm than good. So consider heading to a cooling center or another location that has air conditioning. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dave Packer.
The Maine Department of Environmental Protection says ozone levels today could be a problem for those who are already dealing with breathing challenges. The agency says ozone levels are slated to reach a level designated for unhealthy for sensitive groups. Most of Maine, except the northern region, is expected to be moderate for particle pollution. At elevated ozone levels, children, older adults, those who work outdoors, and individuals suffering from respiratory or heart diseases such as asthma, bronchitis, or COPD can experience reduced lung function and irritation. Those affected may notice symptoms such as coughing, shortness of breath, throat irritation, or experience mild chest pain. The DEP says if you think the conditions might be an issue, then avoid strenuous activity, close windows, and circulate air with an indoor fan. If you have asthma, keep your quick relief medications close by and have a plan if your condition escalates. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Peter Pan here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, I'm covered from roadside to poolside, and insurance and member perks that make adulting a breeze. With AAA, it pays to be a member.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
Driving is what drives me. But when the day winds down, it's back to the daily drive. That's why I choose AAA Auto Insurance. Wherever the road leads, AAA is by my side.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. So some advisories posted. A small craft advisory up until Wednesday at around 8 p.m. as we are watching for some active surf along the coast, and an air quality alert also up until this evening as we are watching some air quality issues, ozone being the primary problem. Here's what we got. We are watching 2-foot wave heights according to the buoys, and not too bad further off towards the north and east for now. Those will be on the increase coming up as we are eventually going to be watching for a cold front approaching. Now, air quality forecast, again, we are going to be watching for code orange air quality coming up later on today along the coast. That is why the air quality alert has been issued along the coast for today. Meanwhile, a warm front has lifted to the north, which is bringing record heat into our neck of the woods. So we will be watching for record highs that could potentially fall into our neck of the woods today. As we do zoom things out, again, the warm fronts to the north and eventually a cold front is going to be passing through for us coming up later on, not so much today, but tomorrow. Again, we have another warm day on the way, so later tomorrow, that's when the cold front's going to be passing through. Showers and thunderstorms today, calming down later on tonight. And then for tomorrow, more opportunities for some precipitation to approach, especially during the afternoon. Doesn't look as exciting, but we'll have another opportunity by Wednesday night. The cold front's through, then things calming down after that. Here's a chance for stronger storms for today. Nothing too exciting. Anywhere you see the green chance, that's a chance for some of the stronger storms thunderstorms possible with gusty winds and a little bit of hail that could occur. So here we are, partly cloudy, a few thunderstorms today, near record high temperatures in the upper 80s, southwest wind at around 25 miles per hour. All right, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog tonight, lows near record warm low temperatures in the mid 60s, southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a few thunderstorms again, near record high temperatures in the mid 80s, west wind at about 30 miles per hour. Your extended forecast, here we are Thursday, mostly sunny, highs cooling down into the low 60s, mid 60s for your Friday under a partly cloudy sky. And then here we are for Saturday, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid 60s.
Thank you, Devin. Several people had to be rescued after getting trapped in a cave near Davenport, California. Officials say the exit to the cave was cut off by rising tides. Santa Cruz Fire and the Coast Guard were called out and worked together to help bring the people to safety. 5 people who could swim waded out of the cave with assistance from the lifeguards. The remaining 3 were hoisted to a nearby bluff. First responders are now warning people to always check local tide charts before heading out, since rising waters can quickly leave you trapped with no escape route. The first giant panda born in Indonesia gets a good bill of health before his public debut. Veterinarians examined the furry panda cub nicknamed Rio on Friday and was confirmed he was growing and healthy. He weighed in at 22 pounds at nearly 6 months old and is able to walk on his own, climbs on his mother, and has started eating bamboo shoots. Veterinarians are monitoring Rio's development to determine how well he will adapt to crowds when he debuts later this month at Indonesian Safari Park outside of the capital. His mother, Hu Chun, and his father, Kate Tao, are both 15 years old and are fan favorites at the park. The pair arrived in Indonesia in 2017 on a 10-year conservation partnership with China. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Come in and visit AMHG Works, Bangor's #1 gift shop, located at 36 Springer Drive in the Rennie's Plaza. We have special gifts for you, your furry companion, and that special someone you are in need of a gift for. It's worth a trip in for unique American-made gifts. Here at AMHG Works, everything is American-made, and we are open 7 days a week for your convenience. American-made home goods. We look forward to seeing you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
So glad you